Niners lost another assistant coach. I wouldn't be sad about it, though. I feel like they're cutting the dead weight. Rich Scangarello, quarterback coach, if you want to call him that, no longer the Niners quarterback coach. He is the offensive coordinator for the University of Kentucky. I bet the dude got a nice raise. What I hear is that colleges are actually paying a little bit more for their assistant coaches than NFL guys than the NFL these days, which is wild. Maybe it's the pandemic. And the NFL's not making as much money as it used to. It's probably a little, Anyway, Scangarello out. I don't think the Niners are tripping. I think they brought him back because of the work he did with Jimmy Garoppolo. And, well, maybe Jimmy Garoppolo won't be here next year. We don't know yet. What do you think of this?
I mean, it's interesting. So when Tom Pelissero broke that news, I just have to read out this tweet because the second part of it tickles me a little bit. The University of Kentucky is hiring 49ers quarterbacks coach Rich Scangarello, can't even get that out, as its new offensive coordinator per sources. A widely respected quarterback developer. Scangarello replaces Liam Cohen, who took the Rams offensive coordinator job left behind. So
you can break the story, but you have to call him a highly respected quarterback developer. Like, who has he ever developed?
Yeah, Jimmy. if you read that, you think to yourself, damn, the Niners really lost out on a quality assistant. It's going to be hard to replace him. And then you flash forward to 49ers Twitter, and it's like, thank God he's gone. Celebrate good times. Come on.
That's how I feel. I'm not even a Niner fan. I'm just quality control, and I'm in favor of things that make the Niners better. And I think this is going to make. I never understood. Look, to me, Kyle is very good with coaches. Yes. But he there's one. It's not even a flaw, but you can tell he's trying to groom offensive coordinators and head coaches. I don't blame him. That's his coaching tree. But then we talked about it last week when they promoted what's-his-face to tight ends coach. He has no experience coaching tight ends, and I'm sure he's a future offensive coordinator, but this year when he's coaching the tight ends, he's not going to be offering anything to them, and that's Scangarello. Like, he's been a coordinator before he came here. He's a coordinator again, and he's someone who could be on Kyle Shanahan's, tree. But in the meantime, while he's your quarterback coach, he gives you nothing.
Yeah, so, what value is he adding there? That's a great question. I agree on the Brian Fleury.
Right? That's
tight ends coach. It just doesn't feel as clean as the Leonard Hankerson promotion, where you get it in that instance. You understand what they're trying to do in promoting Leonard Hankerson to the wide receivers coach. Brian Fleury, it does feel like you're preparing him for the next step. But what about right now? What about the tight end room right now? And that's my question around this one is, what value was Rich Scangarello offering? I mean, I mentioned in that tweet, widely respected quarterback developer. I'm just not clear on which quarterbacks we're referring to him developing.
It's fair to have coordinators and training on your staff. That's great. Yes. But the two best position coaches on the team, the running back coach and the D-line coach, are not aspiring coordinators.
No.
They are guys who are the master of the one craft. And Kosaric, look at his resume. He's never been anything other than a D-line coach. He has no aspiration. He's the best at what he does. And it's nice to have a guy like that is giving 100% to that job and is the best at that job. It's nice and isn't aspiring to do more. How many guys like that do you have? It'd be nice to have that at quarterback. And so we're going to talk next about who they should get. I'm thinking someone who's actually an expert on the mechanics of playing quarterback, not someone who's aspiring to be more than a quarterback coach, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I do think that the last thing I want to say is this is good for Lance. Scangarello was a Jimmy guy. The next guy will be more of a Lance guy. And someone says, take his boy Sudfeld. Yeah, the Niners need to commit to a style of quarterback now that Trey Lance is their starter. And I think you're going to see a new type of quarterback come in and a new type of quarterback coach come in.
I would agree with that. And you would think they'd fill out the rest of the quarterback room with at least attempt for a Tyrod Taylor, a Marcus Mariota, some quality backup that is in the same vein of being able to be a mobile quarterback, that someone that is a mobile quarterback.
Seems like the whole world expects it to be Tyrod, right? Like the whole world.
Yes. With the Anthony Lynn connection, it's just too obvious. But it's fair to assume that both of those quarterbacks could be looking for starting positions, right? They're both that fringe level of starter backup. They might be looking for that money. So I don't know. I think the Niners go after both of those individuals. They may have to settle for someone a little bit less than a Tyrod Taylor or a Marcus Mariota. But the Niners are now dealing with pretty significant losses. Like, even if you look at Rich Scangarello as, well, someone that didn't add too much value, and you felt like it was a good replacement for Wes Welker, and that Mike McDaniel adds a level of genius, but really it's Kyle Shanahan's show. Now we're talking about Rich Scangarello, Mike McDaniel, John Embry, Wes Welker, Butch Berry, Zach Yenzer. I mean, the last two I couldn't tell you a damn thing about, but that's still 6 coaches that you've lost off of the staff. So that's significant turmoil for a 49ers coaching staff, and you've got to refill those positions.
Feels like there's a major transition happening with the 49ers. It just kind of feels like something big is happening, and some people are on board and some people aren't. I wonder what that could be. All right, let's stick with Rich Scangarello.
Some sort of a shift here is happening.
I don't know what it is.